Good morning, everyone. We'll start the meeting. Janice, will you do roll call, please?
President Davidson,
Present.
Vice President Ricketts,
Present.
Secretary Kincaid, present. Treasurer Hahn,
Present.
Director Argot, Director Hector, Director Lynch,
Present.
Director Suave, absent. Director Setzer. You do have a quorum.
Okay, and just so you know, Mr. Hector is on the phone and said he was present. So I will call the meeting to order, and please rise for pledge allegiance to the flag. Mabel, would you be kind enough to go check and see if there's any open forum signups? The first item is the approval of the September 3rd draft minutes, which you all have in your... I'll have in your packet. May I have a motion to approve those minutes? Thank you, Liz. Second? Was that you, Ryan? Oh, Al. Thank you, Al. No, because Dan's on the phone, so I can't mute it. Any discussion? Then I'll call the question. All in favor of approving the September 3rd Federation Board of Directors meeting, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Then the minutes are approved. I would ask those who have joined us on the phone, except Mr. Hector, to please mute your phones. The Federation Board doesn't need to hear some of the language that is coming across on your phone. Therefore, we will move to management reports, and Keith, I will call upon you to do the management report from First Service Residential.
Thank you. As the First Service Management Report for October 1, did a quick turnaround from the membership meeting, so we'll kind of go through some new stats. But again, quickly, all current Federation board members are condominium parcel owners and are all paid up on their fees as of yesterday, September 30th. A couple of quick administration notes for September for the board. There were 37 transfers, 35 leases completed. We had about 3,700 phone calls taken. We did 636 pest control appointments and had just over 1,000 walk-ins for the month. We did about 47 alterations, 10 violations, processed 162 invoices, and drew up 12 new contracts. A couple of information on insurance. Again, just quickly to note that the next big event for insurance is the insurance workshop that's going to be held on October 19th at 2 p.m. in the Veterans Theater. So we're going to talk all things insurance, from renewal projections to HO6 policies to hurricane deductibles and all the good stuff in between. And it's open up to anybody that wants to come. So, you know, mark those dates and bring your questions. We'll have Adam and Brian from USI is there, as well as the insurance committee. Pest control is still inside the 3-day appointment window. We did have another increase in appointments for September, but starting to level off again after the summer rains. Quickly for landscaping, the landscaping workshop that was held last week had a lower attendance, but we did talk about palm disease and turf pests. So we had some good, interesting topics there. We're hoping to have more participation in the coming months as folks return back. Next workshop is October 29th at 9:30 in the Veterans Theater. Vendor contracts up for renewal in April. The request for proposal is back from the attorney and in the hands of the committee for just a brief review from the attorney's comments before being presented to the board. Monthly grading was completed this past week on Wednesday. We were splitting the grading again between First Service with Ryan Work doing 3 weeks of inspections for every association, and then OLM is coming in for their week, completing the same 113 inspections as well. A lot more eyes and people on top of the landscape vendors who start to approve those contracts. Palm and oak tree trimming, again, the full cycle has been completed. We're into the monthly palm tree maintenance, which occurred this week. They're still inside the community today. We've had 230 work orders, written down either from POCs or board members or Ryan as he's going through the community notating items to address. So we're working on that. Again, we're trying to send out communications about the schedule they're working through. And again, it might not always exactly be section 1, day 1, but there's kind of the guidelines for when they're here, the 1 week each month. Mulch has started today. We're rocking and rolling with mulch. Just a brief plan, we are notifying the sections that are in the associations that are coming up for delivery and installation, but the general plan is section 1 is getting completed first, and it's by bag type first. So right now they've been delivering pine bark into section 1 first thing this morning. So it's gone pretty well so far, and Ryan's out there meeting them, making sure they're placing the bags at each appropriate house. So we're hoping that this year's got a drastically improved process, and everybody's a lot more satisfied. So any problems, just let us know as that proceeds through to the middle of November. Work orders for landscaping, there was 32 work orders for September. And again, we've taken out the Browns tree on the work order list just because of the sheer numbers that are coming in from that. So basically, landscape work orders will fall back to turf issues, damage, cleaning, pruning, and things like that, requests and weeds. So those will focus on the landscape vendors, and Browns will just be broken out for their complete work order list. Again, just quickly, the banking transition, we had sent out the communication yesterday about the additional banking information to all the board members. I think I received a couple of questions back so far, but if you have any questions, please let me know. Hopefully there's some good information that went out to help clarify some of the bank questions there. That's all I had, Jack.
I'm going to ask, because you kind of skipped over the banking transition at the end of your report, and I'm going to ask, as the transition to the new bank was approved by the membership at the last membership meeting, and yesterday, as promised by First Service, information on the new bank was sent out. If any members or residents in the audience have any questions, you can address them to Keith now, or you can send him emails. I'm kind of putting you on the spot, Keith, but Keith sent considerable information from First Service on City National Bank, how many transactions they handled, the dollar amount, and what the deposit is. So hearing none, Keith, just let the board know if you did any inquiries onto that bank. I appreciate it. We'll turn to Ginger for her report from Vesta.
Good morning, everybody. Can anybody believe it's October 1st? A little bit of crispness in the air, almost fakes us out and thinks it's fall. So, good morning. The board will see I've got a revised page 1 there. I won't read all these numbers, but going down to the food and beverage section, obviously the October 1st date is tough to close out a month and get my information to Montbell in a timely manner. So the number of patrons served there included the last day, and then total sales for food and beverage, including Portico, $87,984 for the month, which is 98% of budgeted plan. Next month in the budget, we had planned for those revenue dollars to escalate, and the renovations we feel won't bear as much of an impact, so we think we'll be able to achieve those higher numbers coming next month and heading into season. Also, just a note, La Perque will reopen on Monday, October 18th. Monday through Friday, yay, that's right. Monday through Friday, 8 to 2. It will be a new, it's called a grab and go concept. The menus are completed. The board's requested we try to offer as streamlined and efficient operation as possible. So the team has worked to, eliminate any type of over waste that happens out in a small operation like that. They'll offer breakfast, a continental style breakfast with egg sandwiches. We'll have some soups and chilies, salads, power bowls, deli sandwiches, sugar-free desserts for those who think that's a thing, and some pre-made sandwiches, ice cream bars, coffee, water, etc. And there will be an opportunity with various foods. It's not going to be a cooking operation, so there will be a microwave there. So it's really kind of a grab and go, but there will finally be stuff available in this clubhouse. So thank you to Andrew and his team, and we look forward to getting that. I know I'm starving every day, so I'm very happy that that's opening up. October 18th, Monday. On the projects, I'll just go through these because lots going on at the South Club. The roof replacement is finally done for the South Club and the cabanas. It's beautiful, and appreciate Victoria and her team diligently getting that to the finish line. The South Club deck expansion project, the RFP process is underway, and we're preparing to get those bids in and start evaluating those. The Jubilee partition door replacement, those doors have been installed, and it said by the end of this week, but I believe they are out and operational now, correct? Yeah. And they said they were working great. So floor replacement project has been completed. The Jubilee bar renovation is done, and the lobby and cafe flooring replacement is underway. I know those patrons of the South Club have been asked to use alternate traffic patterns, and that's going fairly well, so we expect the project to be completed in about 2 weeks. Interior painting for the lobby and loft areas is also complete, and the indoor pool project is underway, expecting that to be closed until mid-November. And finally, the palm tree trimming has commenced. Should be completed by today. They started it and then ended up having to stop because of a social event. They couldn't get it all completed, so they had to, come back and finish this week. Excuse me. So bear in mind, bear with me here. I'm going to go through a couple events. It's been a long 1.5 years of dry spell on our special events and planning. Folks are very excited to come out to the special events, but they're not necessarily in the habit or knowing what's occurring. So the special events team has asked that I take this opportunity to let them know what's going on. The Winter Series brochure is available. If you previously held seats and have not renewed your seats, please come to the box office to secure your spot for those series tickets. Because once that time frame passes, those will be opened up to people who come in and buy the remaining tickets. We will have a concert for a cause event today to benefit the Alzheimer's Association at 3:30, hosted by Ryan Pope is the entertainer, correct, Matt? Yes. Let's see. Monthly line dances begin October 3rd. Queen's Luncheon begins back October 6th. The open air market is October 6th, and we have the Fall Business Expo on October 8th. The ever popular flu shot program begins October 11th to the 14th, and that will be hosted by Walgreens. And you can sign up for that actually on KingsPointSunCityCenter.com on the sign up page if you want to get your, flu shot. I need to get some water. We've got the Kings Point Garage Sale on October 22nd and 23rd. The monthly dinners have returned, and the food truck rally returns to Veterans Theater on October 27th. That's a quick run-through. These are all available in your pointer. If you have any questions about any of them, you can ask at the office. Finally, on security, a couple notables. A resident called the front gate to report that a woman was lost walking in the community. Upon arrival, they talked to her. She was confused, didn't know her address. Security was able to look her up with her name, and attempted with no success to get any of her emergency contacts. So they called 911 and she was taken to South Bay to be evaluated. Bless her heart, I hope she finds her way home, but this also is just testament to why that's so helpful for you all to give us information of what's going on in the community, and we can help people as best we can. And then finally, just a clarification, we've been reporting that you can go to the gate and get your golf cart decal. Thank you to a resident who brought to our attention, I might have been confusing it, that everybody had to come. If you already have a decal for your golf cart, you don't need to come get a new one. It's just for those who don't have a current decal. So please, if you want to get your decal, go to the front gate after 3 p.m. and you have to have your golf cart, your badge, and your golf cart serial number to receive your decal. And that's it. Thank you.
Any questions from the board for Ginger? Then we will move to committee reports. I'll start with Liz. Do you have anything?
On? Yes. Okay. The Palm and Tree Committee remains hard at work working on educational pieces. As Keith mentioned earlier, our second presentation was what's wrong with my palm, and talked about fertilization needs. Next piece that we're looking to do would be concerning the hardwoods and the oaks. I think we need to remember that the landscape contract maintains the vast majority of trees and palm-like trees, such as the Robolini. The Robolini is the one that is often confused. Adding palm fertilization to the Palm and Tree Committee is in process. Additionally, when we do all of that, we will delineate the palms covered in the contract so that we can eliminate some of the confusion of why the queen palm is done and this one is not. Health and Safety Committee, Keith also mentioned it, things are moving along smoothly. We'll be maintaining the e-blasts to remind people hurricane season still has another month to go, month and a half to go. So to remind everybody to keep that water on board. So. And we continue to work on the COVID booster shots, and more will be coming out on that. So stay tuned.
Tom, do you have anything on the landscape committee outside of what
Not outside of what
Ryan, excuse me,
Keith
Keith
said.
said? Alan, it's my understanding you do not have a treasurer's report?
Correct, at this month.
Okay. In regard to the president report, I want to remind everyone that the CPC has requested that between the hours of 6 p.m. and 8 p.m. tonight, that you turn on the outside lights of your unit. They are doing a drone flyover, taking pictures of Kings Point for the new website, and they would like it to look nice and homey. So please remind your residents, your neighbors, to turn on their outside lights for that 2-hour period between 6 p.m. and 8 p.m. tonight. It would be very much appreciated. Let's show a good image of Kings Point when the drone flies over and does picture taking. There is another issue that I would like to discuss which came up between First Service and KPW. Keith reached out to KPW to see if there was some way, because there are residents that call the emergency number after 8 p.m. for loss of air conditioning or other services they require. KPW's hours end at 8 p.m. at night. You need to leave a message on the KPW answering machine. They will attempt, if possible, to get back to you, but they only work to 8 p.m. Generally, they would call you back the next day, calling the emergency number at First Service. The only thing Keith's going to do, or First Service is going to do, is call and leave another message on KPW's website. This is the KPW's process and policies, that they are only open till 8 p.m. and only accept emergency calls until 8 p.m. And I just wanted to make the residents aware and make your neighbors aware that if you have a problem after 8 p.m. at night, there is the only way to get a hold of KPW is by leaving a message on their answering machine. Is that correct, Keith? And I just wanted to make sure everybody was particularly aware of that. In addition, it is my understanding, and I'm going to put Matt on the line. Matt, you will be having information shortly on a booster shot program for Kings Point. Is that correct?
People can check their inboxes later today from the leadership team and some of the communication that will go out.
Okay, so we are working on, and you have worked on getting someone to come into Kings Point to do booster shots for the eligible residents.
The leadership team will have an email coming out from Vesta, the Master Association, and I believe First Services later today, so expect some news.
Okay. I wasn't going to ask you the date or anything, I just wanted to make sure that you had worked on that, and we expect to see some positive results from it. That ends my president's report. We do have an item on the open forum, which is Eileen Pico. Eileen, you have the opportunity to either speak now or when the board addresses your petition during discussion. Do you want to address it now, or would you rather wait till the discussion by the board?
Wait until the discussion, please.
Okay.
Thank you.
And there is no unfinished business, and we will move to new business, which is a petition received from Eileen Pico, president of Kensington. And the petition reads, agenda item to be included for the October meeting. Reads, the membership will review and discuss potential changes to the official documents of Federation of Kings Point Associations, Inc. Proposed changes will then be referred to legal counsel of the membership's choosing for review and respond to the membership with recommendations and or revisions, and to prepare the documents for the membership approval. The vetting and document preparation costs will be paid for from the AC1 legal fund of the Federation, funded with the established amount of $25,000. Well, Liz, did you want to speak to it?
She's Eileen.
Pardon? Eileen, I'm sorry. Eileen, did you want to speak to it? You see, I not only do it when I'm talking to you, I also do it in meetings.
I'd like to defer my comments to after the discussion by the board.
Okay.
Thank you.
The board has researched Ms. Pico's petition. There are two issues that have been raised by legal counsel. One is that specifically section 617.03.02 of the Florida statute states that unless otherwise provided in its articles of incorporation or bylaws, a corporation such as the Federation has the power to, among other things, sue and be sued, elect or appoint such officers and agents as its affairs shall require. The membership within the bylaws and within the Articles of Incorporation do not have the power to appoint an attorney. It would be in violation of the Florida statutes, which provide those decision-making powers to the governing body, which is the Federation Board. In addition, we received from Mr. Appleton of Appleton Reese a legal opinion back in April of 2019 that the legal fund is a defense fund that is to be used for associations who are involved with a legal issue that they have not budgeted for. The payment out of that legal fund must be approved by the Federation Board. The only other thing the legal fund may be used for is the Federation Board may use the legal fund for any legal expenses which it has. So the use of the legal fund as requested in the petition by Ms. Pico, again, would be in violation of the AC1 standards according to our legal counsel. There is within the bylaws a process for making amendments and proposing amendments to the documents, such as the bylaws and articles of incorporation. It requires that such amendments be proposed to the board with signatures from 20 presidents or 10% of the voting membership. That is actually within Article 14, Section 1 of the bylaws, which was pointed out to the Federation of the Board, from legal counsel. Therefore, I would move that because the proposed motion, as noted by Ms. Pico in her petition, would be in violation of Chapter 617, which grants the board specific authorities, and in the actual document of AC1 of the use of AC1 and how that document is to be used per legal opinion not be appropriate to use it, I would move that Ms. Pico's petition be denied, and because it is a violation of Chapter 617, and a violation of the AC1 Administrative Code, that any appeal would automatically be denied because the Federation must follow state statute and follow the bylaws, Articles of Incorporation, and AC1 as required. Is there a second to the motion? Thank you, Tom. Second. Discussion? Eileen, it has been open for discussion. The board has no other discussion.
Thank you.
Could I ask, as you speak, would you remove your mask so you hear you better?
Sure. Clearly, I'm
And
disappointed.
can you identify yourself and your association?
Eileen Pico, Kensington Association. As having heard your comments, I am disappointed that this board continues to refuse to allow the membership to discuss and vote on Kings Point issues of importance to the entire community in our membership meetings. After all, Kings Point belongs to the owners and residents, not this 9-member Federation board. In fact, this board's decision is exactly why there's a need to make modifications to the Federation bylaws, administrative codes, and operating procedures. I need your denial of my request to place this item on the October 15th membership agenda by 2 o'clock today so that we can submit our president's petition in a timely manner to override your denial in compliance with the current operating procedures. Thank you very much for allowing me to speak.
In response, I would only say that the minutes have to be written. I know Bob Bell has stuff to do, and then Janice would have to write a letter. You are asking for a letter to be sent to you as stated in my motion. Because it is a violation of Chapter 617 and the powers granted to the board unfortunately must follow the process outlined in the state statutes and outlined in its bylaws, which include AC1, which is the legal fund, and to place an item on the agenda which would violate state statute and would violate our bylaws is inappropriate. We fully understand that the members have a right to speak and have a right to amend the bylaws. There is specific process within the bylaws as to how to propose motions to the bylaws, and therefore I appreciate your comments, and I will call the question before the board, and I will take a roll call vote. Ale? The motion, pardon?
Is there any more discussion?
Any other discussion from the floor? So the motion is to deny the petition and to deny any appeal because it is a violation of state statute and bylaws. Yours is a yes? Liz?
Merely based on the interpretation given by the attorney, I have to vote yes. I am very concerned that we do not have the opportunity, more opportunity, for membership to speak at the membership meeting. I concur, it is the membership meeting and they need to have more latitude. Thank you.
Janice?
Yes.
I vote yes. Tom?
Yes.
Yes.
Dan Hector? Dan Hector voted yes. So the motion to deny the petition and to deny appeal due to the violation of state statute and the bylaws has been approved by the board. Before we get into good and welfare, as there is no other new business, before we get into good and welfare, yesterday Vesta sent out a YouTube video by Mike Fardell in regard to some worthwhile endeavors which he is trying to do for the good of the community. And I have offered to Mike to be able to speak to those assembled under the board on, for those who haven't seen the video, what he is proposing and the reasons. And I have advised Mike that the board will waive the 3-minute rule.
Well, I'm sure everybody wants to go home or do whatever they got to do, so I'm going to try and keep it to the 3 minutes. It's pretty self-explanatory. If you look at the video, it will tell you what I'm asking for. I'm asking for your help. One person doesn't mean anything, but when you get a community that speak, politicians tend to listen. And there are 2 things on it that we need to be concerned about. They have led over 19,000 permits in Hillsborough County to build houses, but yet they haven't brought the services to support that population. And the emergency squad is being pulled more out of area to do things outside of our normal service area because they don't have the way to do it. Also, we are having to be stretched to go down to other places, so the ambulances we even have in Sun City aren't here. And you're gonna be a lot more distressed if you have an emergency need and you have to get an ambulance coming from Brandon. Because physically, even if they run out of the station as soon as they get the call, there is geographical time that they're gonna have to spend to come down to get you. And we think that's unacceptable. They need to put another ALS rig or advanced life support rig from the county in this area and permanently stationed. We think that's something that's necessary to be done to support some of the needs that these residents will need in this, if not now, in the future. And I can tell you that Hillsborough is stressed to the limit that they cannot do anymore. The second one is the emergency squad has participated all during COVID with testing and with inoculations. We spent and had 34 EMTs get trained to give vaccinations, but we also view it that this can be a long-term plan. If we ever get hit by a hurricane, we may have to give shots for people who have cuts. So there may be a need for all of this stuff. So we spent the money, had them trained, and we're giving it. And the governor's order that gave us this right to do this expired. And the governor is now saying that they don't think that he's going to sign a new one. We want to have him continue that. That is a Band-Aid fix to do. And the real thing to do is to put something in legislation to make it permanent. And I'm working with legislators now to make that happen, but it won't happen until March. So if that happens in March, what do we do with all this other time that we have? We want to give the booster. We want to have the ability to get this community inoculated again, and to do it in a fast order where we can get back on with some kind of a normal life. And that's it in a nutshell. I'm asking you to send the governor an email. We've already prepared in the template for you where you can hyperlink it and you can send one to him. And then there's also a petition there for the ALS rig that I will personally take down all those petitions to the county commissioners in November. And hopefully we will be successful. So that's kind of it. If anybody has any questions.
Mike, I only have one question for you. In your YouTube video, you said that there will be places within the North Club and the South Club that people will be able to sign your petition. Is that still the case?
That is still correct, right, Matt?
It's at the desks of all three clubhouses, North Club, South Club, and 2020.
Did you say it was at the desk of all three
North Club,
clubhouses?
South Club, and 2020.
Okay, and this is the petition for the county?
This is the petition for the county. We're asking you to call or send an email that's hyperlinked to it to go to the governor's office, and it also gives his phone number. And I think if enough people call, the governor usually has a reaction. And if everybody would remember, we were not designated to get the shots, but when all that besiegement went on the governor's office, they found extra shots to come give James Point. And so that will tell you that it does work when you make enough of a complaint. I have no doubt they'll be wanting to talk to me about why I did this, but that's okay. I'm willing to take that. So anyway, that was it. Thank you very much.
And do you have the phone number and email address?
I do, but I don't commit it to memory.
I have it right here. Give me your mic, please. The email address is governorron.desantis@eog.myflorida.com, or the phone number to call. This is all from Mike's presentation. The phone number is 850-488-7146.
Thank you. I don't remember.
Mike, if you would like us to, the Federation through First Service will send an e-blast to the entire community with those email address and phone numbers on it. So it gets out in an email blast from the community with the phone numbers of how to contact people. We're more than glad to do that for you.
I think that was already planned, was it not? Yeah.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
Wait a minute, Mike. I think I would like to thank you for all your time and effort. One of the great services, the many great services all of the residents in Sun City Center have is the squad. And we appreciate your effort constantly on trying to keep the community well informed and on top of things. Thank you.
Any other good and welfare announcements?
Hello, everyone. My name is Jean Becker, and I live in Portsmouth. I've been here for 15 years. I'm a single widow, and I always want to meet more people and attend more activities. But I found there wasn't much opportunity for singles to meet other singles, so I decided to do something about it. Over the summer, I did the research to see what's happening for singles in other 55-plus communities. I talked to event planners in Del Webb and the Villages communities in Florida, Hilton Head, Illinois, and Arizona. The results were inspiring. The days of a tent card reading singles table are now out. Here's what's trending now. Meet and greets with real introductions. Get acquainted games, interviews, and activities. And so with the encouragement of Matt Hermuth, I have founded a group in Kings Point called Single Social. Our kickoff meeting was held a week ago on Thursday. 83 single people attended. 79 people filled out the survey, and 14 people signed up to volunteer. These amazing results establish proof for the need of Single Social. We're using the survey results to plan our meet and greet events each month, with more introductions, games, interviews, and DJ music as we get to know one another. In addition to our monthly meets, we plan to integrate into other Kings Point events and activities. We've established communication via an email group already in my computer, and also through announcements in the newly established group on Nextdoor Single Social. Here's an example of how it would work. For instance, Jean is going to the monthly dinner, so if you want to join her, ask for her table when you buy your ticket. Or who would like to join me on a bus trip somewhere? Let's meet at the box office. Or who wants to go to the Bucks watch party? I'll see you there. Our next meeting is October 28th, where members will meet a new friend and play free bar poker. Winners will receive sponsor-donated gift cards for King Point Cafe, bar, and events. The evening will be topped off with fast and slow DJ music for dancing. All this is accomplished without paying dues because supplies and music have been donated so far. So now I'm asking all of you to help spread the word to the single people in Kings Point. Single Social can help you feel young again. My contact information is listed in the pointer if anyone would like more information. I have copies of the survey for the board members here, and I thank you very much for this opportunity.
Thank you.
Dan Page, treasurer of Andover Tea. We were having a problem with people dumping mattresses, chairs, all kinds of doors and trash in Andover Tea. I put up a security camera and a sign on the dumpster. Someone last week, I was over at Nearly New, and someone deposited a box spring there. People need to know those items, you can go to the dump on 41 for free. All you need is your property tax and a photo ID. There's a dump down in Wamama. I'm not sure where that is. I go to the one on 41. But as I drive around, I see stuff at a lot of different associations. The woman at the Nearly News said they have to pay to move those things. If you could send a blast at everyone telling the procedures, if someone took the time to put the stuff in a truck to bring it to someone else's association, They could just as well bring the stuff to the dump.
Thank you, Dan. And Dan, seeing you put a security camera up, if you have the capability of identifying any individual, would you, and if, or any, you see anybody and can identify that individual, would you please let First Service and specifically Keith know? Because I believe that those associations should be notified and those members should receive violation letters.
They stopped doing it because they saw the camera and the sign.
Good, at least we're working towards progress there. Any other good in welfare? Before we adjourn the meeting, I want to remind you all, and you've seen notices on it, that on the day after Thanksgiving, the leadership organizations within Kings Point, which is the Master, the Federation, First Service, Vesta, are doing a tree lighting ceremony. And if you've seen the trees in the park, those trees will be lighted on the Friday after Thanksgiving. So please mark your calendar for that date. In addition, and you're going to hear me talking about this until it actually occurs, on December 13th, there is scheduled a Taste of Kings Point. As a part of the Taste of Kings Point, there will be a raffle for the residents of Kings Point. And the raffle is only for the residents of Kings Point. As of right now, and Keith, you're going to have to keep me fully honest, some of the items that will be raffled off are a 2-night stay, including all tax gratuity and meals, at the Gasparilla Inn in Boca Grande, which is down near Sarasota. That package is worth over $1,600. There will be Bucks tickets for the January 8th Bucks game, which is against the Carolina Panthers. There's also donation of lightning tickets. The Land Trust through Ginger is donating individual show tickets. Also, there will be a raffle for the series tickets and for movie tickets. There will be included within the raffle for at least 3 golf cart inspections that are being donated to the community, along with multiple gift cards, including $100 gift cards, which would be Amazon, which would be American Express, Visa, MasterCard. The tickets for the raffle are $1 a piece. You will be able to place your ticket for any item you want to participate in the raffle for. You won't need to make out a ticket with your name, phone number. It'll all be done by numbers, which will be posted. You'll be able to pick up your tickets or your prizes at the First Service office directly after the raffle is drawn, so you do not need to be present for the raffle. All the proceeds from the Taste of Kings Point will be donated to the Mary Martha House. Nobody is making any money off this. It is all charitable, and it is being put together and coordinated by different individuals from each of the leading organizations, governing bodies within Kings Point. So save up your nickels and dimes. You could probably end up getting some very good deals. I will tell you the biggest prize, with the $1,600 stay at Boca Grande, and for those of you who don't know, you can go and look up the Gasparilla Inn in Boca Grande. It is a 114-year-old hotel building that has been totally renovated. People from all over the United States and the world go to stay there. But this is for a very worthwhile cause. The one other thing, and Mary Ann, you can keep me honest, we will be having an angel tree that will be coming from the Mary Martha's house. The angel tree will be placed in the North Club lobby. You'll have to, when you take an angel off the tree, register your name so we can keep track of it. When you purchase the item, you can drop off the item here at the North Club. Mary Ann has already got volunteers to wrap the presents and deliver them. We won't wait to deliver them to the last minute. We will deliver them as people purchase them and drop them off. Again, another worthwhile cause for the Mary Martha House. And Mary Ann has been working very hard, so don't be surprised when you see an angel tree in the lobby. And we're looking at putting that up. Do you know the date that we'll probably have it up, Mary Ann?
Probably will be around the 22nd of November.
So it'll be up around the 22nd of November, and Mary Ann has been working with the Mary Martha House on getting the items that they need off the angel tree. This is the first of what we are hoping will be an annual event. These gifts that I have mentioned and the prizes that are be raffled are all coming from our vendors. We do expect to have some participation from the different clubs. We've been approached by the bingo club of them offering an item to be raffled off. So mark your date for December 13th. We're still waiting for a number of our vendors to tell us what they are going to be donating. We have been beating up First Service saying, come on, tell us what you guys are going to offer. And we've been beating up Ginger on what Vesta is going to offer. So we're making sure that our vendors that we pay so much money to in this community are giving back to the community. And we did want it solely for the residents, and that's why the raffle will be dedicated solely to residents of Kings Point being allowed to purchase raffle tickets. And I just wanted to let you folks know that so you can, if you can, with the cost of everything going up, put a few dollars aside to be able to participate in whichever raffles that you're interested in. And with that, I will entertain a motion to adjourn. Thank you, Ryan. Second. Thank you, Tom. All in favor? Opposed? Meeting is adjourned.